So I wanted to take a moment to evaluate Blizzard's new comp queue system. And to do this, I've created a graph and then I've created some data that basically proves a point. So in the case of Blizzard's new ranked system, they did a soft reset. And I'll be blunt, soft resets don't work. But the reason that soft resets don't work is all it does is push the floor, everybody into the floor. And the people who are already at the floor can't go any lower. So in a world where you are a legit bronze player, a legit silver player, a legit gold player, effectively you got pushed to the very back of the line. As a plat, diamond, and a masters player, you effectively got pushed into a lobby system where you have to bully people. So plat, diamond, and masters players are now beating up on the people who are on the floor, trying to climb out of the hole that they got forced into. And bronze, silver, and gold players who are actually of that skill rating are finding themselves in matches that they shouldn't be in. So now we have a situation where, i.e., what Blizzard said they didn't want to happen, where it was a miserable matchmaking experience for everyone, is only happening to the floor. The reason that this doesn't affect Masters, Grandmasters, and top 500 players is because the ceiling can never move. If there's nobody at the ceiling, it doesn't matter. So eventually, over time, your gaming experience doesn't change, but it doesn't change for the people who are on the low end. So let's evaluate what happens when me, i.e. a diamond player, gets put into bronze. I'm averaging 28 elims. I'm averaging well over 12 to 20,000 damage. I'm averaging 10,000 healing. And I have, I think, sub 10 deaths per game. So, in Overwatch, if I use those statistics to evaluate myself, I am outperforming my skill rating. But because we are in a system where everybody got pushed down, the bell curve that used to exist, with the soft reset existing at Diamond because you had SR decay, is now pushing everybody into the floor. So the floor is bronze. You can't be lower than 0 SR. It's not possible unless you're special. So if everybody starts at 0 in this soft reset, up until gold is a cesspool. It's unplayable for a lot of people. And you can't be mad at the people at that skill rating. Like, I was playing in bronze 2 or bronze 3, and I had people who were legit bronzes. And as a coach, it's really disheartening to know that I'm ruining somebody's experience and I can't help them. So, because of the soft MMR reset, we effectively tripled the population in bronze. So if we take the population of 0 to 500, 500 to 1500, and then 1500 to 2.5k, right? And we push it all into bronze, we've effectively tripled the gamer populace in bronze. The population of bronze is now 3 times what it used to be. And these numbers on the left-hand side represent this. They aren't the exact numbers because Blizzard doesn't give them out, but I'm just throwing out a rapid example of what it could be. So if you have, 10,000 people that are between 0 and 500 skill rating, you have 20k between, 0 and 1,000, and then it just steadily increases with the bell curve until you get to the plat diamond area, which is where the bell curve peaks. We'll say that there are around 60,000 people who are at the peak for the bell curve. They were all now forced into bronze. So, because of this, we now have 240,000 people who are playing at that 0 to 500 range. And for these 60,000 people, it's the worst experience of their life. And they can't play the game. So, people talked about how a hard reset basically did this to everyone. That is correct. Hard reset basically makes it so that everybody, it's a lottery. Nobody has a skill rating. Everybody, it's, if you win consistently, you're going to get slingshot out, etc. But it, quote unquote, doesn't really evaluate your skill. But effectively what this is doing is this is bullying the lower end. If you're one of these people between bronze and gold, I wouldn't play Overwatch 2 right now. I think that legitimately, you're just going to get run over and the gaming experience isn't going to be good. Now let's talk about what happened at gold. So because of the soft MMR reset, people who are in Diamond, Masters, and Platinum are now playing in gold. So let's say there was a low Masters player who was a top 500 player 30 seasons ago, comes back to Overwatch 2 because it's a new game. Their MMR, the last time they played, was between 3.4K and 4K. This means that this player is, statistically better than the average gold player. Now let's look at somebody who was in gold, who has climbed through the shit pool into gold. You now have a 1500 skill rating player playing against a 3.5K skill rated player. This vortex right here is where people are not going to be able to climb. There's going to be a hard skill wall at gold because of the soft MMR reset and forced decay. This means that once you get gold 1, I would arguably say that the game skill curve is going to get so much harder that you're going to rip your hair out. And it's going to happen I would say between gold 4 and gold 1, because you're going to run into Masters and Grandmasters players, which you should never have run into. So over a period of time, this will correct itself, but from my perspective, I don't think this is going to correct itself for like 6 months. I think that Overwatch, once you get to like gold 1, unless you're a diehard junkie, you're going to be at a wall and you're going to keep beating your head into the wall until you get through the wall. And once you get through the wall, it's still smooth sailing, because the people who are going to be on your team after the skill wall are going to be of higher quality than you trying to get through the wall. So everybody who is below gold 1 is going to be a detriment, and everybody who's above gold 1 is going to help carry you. So you're going to see people slingshot past gold 1 into Diamond, Masters, Grandmasters, top 500 that realistically probably don't belong there. All right, now we're going to look at the SR evaluation. So in the SR evaluation, in the old system, bronze was 0 to 1499, silver was 1500 to 1999, gold was 2000 to 2499, platinum was 25 to 299, 3000 to 3500, 3500 to 3999, and then 4K plus, and then top 500 per region. Now, because of the soft reset, the new SR system is 0 to 2499, 2500 to 2999, 3000 to 3500, 3500 to 4K, and then 4K plus for diamond. Because I've only seen 2 people place masters out of everyone, and that is not a good sign. So let's look at old average SR games versus new average SR games. So the average SR for a silver player game was between 1500 and 1999 for all players. The new SR for silver games is between 0 and 2900 for all players, because everybody was pushed into the floor. This means we effectively have a 3000 skill range. So this means that for bronze, you have everybody between bronze and diamond. The only people who were excluded from the floor were Masters, Grandmasters, and top 500 players. So if we look at an average skill level in using the old number system in an old SR lobby, everybody is within those numbers. So the SR lobby difference is only around 800. So let's go to the new lobby system. Again, using that big of a range and variety, we have a system where if we assign everybody a random number that is proportionally and average, we get a system where it doubles effectively. So the skill difference between Team A and Team B now becomes around 1600. And then we have the outlier case. The outlier case I've seen a few times, though I don't want to put people's names in the video because it's not to be shameful and it's not to show that, people are bullying. You can have a 9,000 skill difference between 2 teams. So if we assume that Blizzard hasn't changed the system and 5 stacks can still play against singles, duos, trios, and we say that Team 1 is a trio and a duo. And the duo is a 1300 support player and a 1400 support player. And the other people are a 3-stack. They can be matched against a 5-stack of former Diamond and Masters players, and they have no chance as soon as the match is created because of the soft reset. So, there are games you are going to get loaded into that you have zero chance of winning. Period. End of statement. Because of the soft reset, you have to throw more shit at the wall for it to stick. So this means that because of Blizzard's new 7 and 20 system, you do not have to maintain a 51% win rate to climb. You have to maintain a 65% win rate to climb. So, for me personally, I placed in bronze, and I haven't finished my third set of placements. But I'm a 3K troll, 4K tryhard. For me, I am now in a situation where statistically, I'm going to bully the lobby 60% of the time, maybe 40% of the time, where there is a player on the opposing team who can do nothing to me. So if we look at this system of 720 with tiers and assign number values that were corresponding to the old system, you statistically, 4 games of your 10 you play are going to be unwinnable because of the skill difference. Unless you are like me and you're on the high end, and then it inverts. So, to maintain that 65% win rate, to climb out of ranks, I've had to play over 100 games as a diamond player to get out of bronze and into gold 1. Because to maintain that 60% win rate for me, that 65% win rate, I had to climb that rate over that many games. So, in turn, what did this do? We got a new rank system, we got a new evaluation method for players, and effectively everybody got pushed into the floor. So, because of this, the rank system's probably not going to be fixed for 6 months. If you play an average of 2 to 3 games a night of competitive, 5 days a week, that means you played 15 games a week. So, if you played 15 games, actually, I'll say 21. 21's the easier number for 7. If you play 21 games a week, and you maintain a 51% win rate over 21 games, statistically, you'll get a stats update every week. If you get a stats update every week while maintaining a 51% win rate over 21 games, that means that you went 10 or 11 and 10. So that means that every week you're only going to see your rank go up once. So over a period of 10 weeks, you're going to see your rank 10 times. So if your rank statistically over that period of time is increasing because of a 51% win rate, you're going to climb a division at a time. And I'm not talking about from silver to gold. I'm talking silver 5 to silver 4, silver 4 to silver 3, silver 3 to silver 2, which means that you're going to have players like me stuck at the lower SRs for longer. Because statistically, in Overwatch, you can carry by getting the first kill on an entry fight, but your team can die just as easily. So, a 2.9k player playing in an 1000 SR lobby statistically will win, but realistically he's going to lose just as much because his teammates are going to feed, which is why everybody should be stacking. The only way to play Overwatch Ranked Queue right now is to stack or duo. Hey guys, Kurjun from the future here while I'm editing this video. I just wanted to point out real quick that at the end of the video I talk about 5 stacking and stuff, and it made me think about something else. Why does Masters, Grandmasters, and Top 500 have a ranked restriction, but the others don't? That's a real, makes my brain hurt one. Anyway, just food for thought. I think that after listening to myself in this video for a little bit, doing editing, I think that It's a case of we just need to hard reset and then apply the rules of Grandmaster and Master and Top 500 to all the other ranks. Because if it's not fair and it's equity based, like nothing below Diamond matters. So just 5 stack your way to victory. Like realistically, it's a cesspool. I think that the only solution for Blizzard right now is to just nuke the system. Like I think we are past the point of no return where you're potentially looking at 12 weeks of matchmaking for the low end be unplayable. Whereas if we had just done a hard reset where everybody starts at 0 SR and then climbs out like we did in season 1, or season 0 if you want to go back to the numerical beta MMR, we effectively are stuck in a situation where people are just going to bully people for 12 to 16 weeks, man. And it's going to get old really, really quickly. Like, I have friends who are grandmasters and top 500 players who are stuck in gold. And, like, they're putting up 30, 40 kills a game, but they're losing because of their teammates, because their teammates are dying. And that makes them stuck there for longer. So, for every loss they suffer, they're crushing somebody else. So, we have a situation where... effectively, people are throwing. So, this leads me to my next part. Blizzard removed the ability to see a skill rating of a player in the game. You can no longer see what the skill rating is. And there have been lots of explanations I've been given for this. Whether it was a player's being toxic, some players didn't like the pressure of knowing that they were the lowest skilled player in the lobby. Effectively, all they did was gave us a scoreboard to flame in real time. Because I can tell you after 4 minutes, I know who the weakest link is on both teams. I know who the strongest link is on both teams. Effectively, because I'm a coach and an analyst, I spend a lot of time hitting tab looking at the scoreboard, and I make somebody's life a living hell. I played a game the other night. I was playing as Zarya as a tank, and a Zenyatta was popping off. I walked at him for 15 minutes. He went from 2 deaths to 27 because I literally just walked at him the entire game. So I've ruined not only an opponent's experience, but because I made the choice to use the scoreboard to evaluate the match in real time, I can't help my teammates because I have to play to win the game. So we're in a weird situation where if you're a tank or a support player, and you're evaluating the scoreboard, realistically, when you look at the scoreboard, as a support player, you could see who's doing the worst on your team. But the question is, do I support the weakest link on my team, or do I support the strongest link on my team? What's the best path to victory? And the answer is, 9 times out of 10, it's to support the best player on your team, and to say, fuck that shitty player who is dragging you down. So... i.e. pocket the person who's doing the most, which is why we have Genji Sombra Widow meta right now. And then let's look at it from the opposing team's perspective. That Zenyatta might be like me, and he might be a diamond player, but because of me being able to throw my weight around, I can target somebody on the opposing team, and I can ruin their experience. So statistically, if you're overperforming on the scoreboard, I'm just going to take you out of the game. So now I legitimately can grief you in-game. We went from a system where we had updates on our skill rating, and we had a general idea of where we were in the populace, to now the best way for me to climb is to specifically target someone on the opposing team, ruin their experience, and then discard the people around me. Unless I'm stacking. And if you're stacking, it's even easier to target someone, because you just swap into a hard counter of a single player and they can't carry the game anymore, because Overwatch, while it is a team game, is just individual skill being showcased in a frag environment, because we're just playing team deathmatch now. Hey everybody, that wraps up my video that I just did, and in the future, I'll be doing more hero-based content and more analytical stuff. It was just this was something I wanted to cover because of the current state of the game, and I wanted people to not feel helpless because they don't understand what's going on. But in the future, I will be releasing videos based on hero content and metas and what you should be doing to play in the game. You should look for that stuff coming in the future. I don't have a set schedule yet. You can follow me on my Twitch, same as my username, if I am live. If not, you can look forward to my videos on my YouTube channel, and I will see you at the next one.